We've got so many questions for Martin. A lot of people, certainly over the weekend, are be coming to you and saying, listen, I need some straight advice now. We were saying right before the referendum that there was a lot of spin on both sides. Now, as we've come out of the other side, we have our decision, we look forward and make it work, which is what we've got to do. There's still a lot of uncertainty.
And there's going to be, I would think, for at least the next 2.5, possibly the next 5 years.
At what point do you think, because you're saying at the moment, nothing really changes very much. But
No.
when does it start to change?
Well, I think you have sentiment change, which is what I talked about earlier, the idea that people change the way they behave knowing this decision's been made. And we'll have government...
What about infrastructure? What about
the big
money?
changes come 2 years after Article 50, or the earliest 2 years after Article 50. That's when we change the EU rules. That's when they no longer impact us. That's when we change our trade relationships, which has been the big concern of many independent economists. Who will we trade with? And that's when the immigration rules will change. So that's still 2.5 years away, those substantial changes to come. And the moment, you know, there's a very strange thing, and markets work in a strange way, and we do too. At the moment, the uncertainty is new. But we get used to uncertainty, and in some ways we get a comfort from the certainty of the uncertainty, that we know we're in an uncertain situation and we learn to adapt to that. So I say there'll be uncertainty for 5 years. In a year and a half's time, we will have been living in this period for long enough, or probably even in a couple of months' time, that we've sort of adapted to the new unknowns, and we will feel more comfortable with it.
So it won't be such a shock.
It won't be such a shock as it is now. It's the psychology. You understand where I am with that?
Yeah. Let's just rattle through a couple here. Rachel says, will Brexit have an impact on my student finances? A lot of people, a lot of students worried about that.
No, what will be interesting on student finances is the change of government. I mean, the impact there is if you want to go and study abroad, if you want to go and study in Europe in a couple of years' time, I think the opportunity...
There was European funding.
You have to be treated, citizens of Europe, and for students get the same. So foreign students, European students can come over here and we can go over there and you go into their universities. That's probably going to stop in a couple of years' time. Students in general, the issue is the funding of student finance. We've already seen a retrospective change to student finance that I've been campaigning about. People will know about that, which is something I'm very unhappy about. And we have a new government coming in from October, and we just don't know what their stance will be on it because, you know, it was the Conservative government that changed this. I'm still hoping they'll change it back. You never know. I'll be campaigning for that.